Hello everyone, this is Crystal Potthoff, and today I am going to redo this division um, and change it up just a little bit. I did this one when I was showing color combinations and showing complementary colors here, in particular red and green, and you can see the colors, but as with another one that I redid and Phil, you could really see the pattern. So I'm redoing it using similar colors. I might change it up a little bit, but it's going to be the pattern will be bigger. It won't be as intricate as this. I like this one, but I also really like this division, and I wanted to make sure that the division was prominent as well as the colors. So we're going to start and put it right there. All right, I am going to take my template and I'm going to use the 90-60, and I'm going to divide it into 4 long lines. And I've kind of already I've drawn this out somewhat lightly in pencil. It's going to make the 4 little marks there. And then I'm going to draw the long lines around it. Now, since this one is going to have white lines, I am going to use a watercolor pencil to draw the lines. But first, I need to sharpen the pencil. Okay, so this is a watercolor pencil. The pencil lines will come off with the wax and the other colors of dye. And I've done a video where I've demonstrated using this, and I'll link that up above. If you don't have a watercolor pencil, you don't have to use one. I'm just using it because it's easier for you to see the lines on here as I draw the pattern. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw these lines that go all the way around the egg. So there's one here. And another one here. Okay, now is the one that I did the previous week. I'm going to do the same one. That one was divided into 3 at the top. This one's going to be divided into 4. And we're going to use that. What I did was I marked where the equator was. So I marked it, and a large chicken egg is about 8 centimeters from top to bottom. So I made a little mark. Here's where the equator is. It's right about here. And then I measured, and what I did was I measured and I did it from here to here, and it's about 32. And I know I'm going to want 4, so 32 divided by 4 is 8. So I kind of marked off 8 on either, or I marked off 4 on either side of my equator line. I don't really need to draw the equator. Then I went down and I marked it at 7, and then I did 6, and then I did about, it looks like I did about 5, maybe I did 6 again. And then I did the same thing up here. So I did 6, 7, or wait a minute. This was 8, that was 7, that was about 6, and this one was also about 6. And then I marked them, and then I drew the horizontal lines. So I had marked all these and drew it with the pencil. So I can see the pencil lines. You probably cannot see them, but I'm drawing them now with the watercolor pencil, so hopefully you can see them. And this. So, as with the other one, there will be 7 of these bands going around the egg. So I needed to know where the equator was, or where the halfway point was, so that I could measure the one that goes around the middle as being, like halfway on either side of that one. I hope that makes sense. You're just trying to, and it doesn't have to be exact. It's just, you want it kind of close. The closer you can get it, the more square-like your squares will be. But you're doing this on a curved surface, so no matter how perfect you get some of the squares, because your egg is smaller at the top and bottom, some of your squares are going to be not square. So they're going to be a little longer or a little shorter, a little squishier. And you still get it to work within the design. All right, so now I have 7 lines, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's divided into 8 sections. Now what I'm going to do is what I did. I divided, I'll do it section by section. I divided a section in half. I just kind of eyeballed it. If you want to measure it, you can. And I just went to here and here. I didn't go all the way up. And then I divided this one in half. Again, just kind of eyeballing it. It turned out pretty close. And the same thing here. All right. And then I went to the next section, did the same thing. Kind of divided it in half. And then divide that one in half. And divide that one in half. This one here. And here. And then our last section is here, here, and here. And I would show you the one from the previous week. Well, I can show it to you. Right now, it's not done yet. It's still drying. So if you watched the video last week, you see this in its final stage. But it had some water in it, so I'm letting it sit. And I wanted to get started on this one. So I'm doing 2 videos at the same time. I hope I keep them straight. So you can see, I'm going to make a little bit of a change. On this one, I did this square, and then I did these in this area. So we're kind of highlighting, this was the pattern. We're kind of highlighting this area. That's my intent. So, but there are 3 at the top. And on this one, there's going to be 4. So the squares, they won't be as small as this, but they won't be as big as this. They're going to be somewhere in between. All right. And I am going to change up the design a little bit. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw the square. And last week I did the lines that went like that. This week we're going to draw them going like this. So they're pointing to the square. Just going to give it a little bit different look. So there's one. Now I skip 1, 2, and I put the square inside the square there, and then I repeat it. All right, so there's another square. Now we're going to come and we're going to do the 2 that go here. So there's one above and one below. This one, we're going to do it right here. So it's in the middle, and then it's like that. So then we're going to go like this, and this, and this, and this. And then I have to think about what I want there and there. So now we're going to do this side. So from this blank one, it's 1, 2. So 1, 2. So it's going to go right here. And then it's going to go like this. So everywhere I am putting this blue pencil is going to, in the final Pysanky, is going to be a white line. You can only use the watercolor pencils if your egg is going to be have white lines. You might be able to use it for yellow lines. Anything darker than that, the dye will start to wash away the pencil lines and you won't see them. So it really only works for that. All right, so now I am going to continue drawing this pattern on here, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about kind of how we're going to do the top and the bottom, what that's going to look like. So I have got my pattern on here, and I have considered what I'm going to do at the top and bottom, and I'll talk about that when I get to it. So on the previous one that I did, I started and I drew all the lines with the Kiska. So I'm going to kind of do that because on this one, right now, all of the long lines will have wax on them. Not up here at the top. Not here. Oh, I didn't finish plugging this. I was waiting for the Kiska to warm up. So I made a little ball out of wax. I put it over the hole. And now I'm just kind of going around it. Also using the side of the Kiska to kind of, I say, weld it into place. Okay. All right, that looks good. Okay, so we are going to start and we're going to draw a line that starts at this line. And I don't want to extend beyond that. I hope this one's going to be more cooperative than last time. Normally, I don't go over a line like that. I believe there is an air bubble in this. So let me see if I can get the air bubble out. That did not work. Let's try this. It's domed on the top, which is usually a sign that there's an air bubble. Oops. Now I think I lost my little piece of wax. Oh, no, there it is. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see if that works better. Maybe, maybe not. There it goes. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to do all of these long lines first. And then Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do and I'll come back and it'll be done once the Kiska behaves. I'm going to do all of the long lines just up to this top line, those 2 lines. I'm not going to go beyond it. Then I'm going to wax all of the long lines, but not this one and not that one. So I need to get the Kiska to be writing. I'm going. The other day I had to completely dump one out. I'm going to use my little dental picks and see if that will work. And if that doesn't, I will dump it out and start with new wax. So, because it's still acting like there's an air bubble in it. Let me give it one more try here. And if that doesn't work, I'll resort to the candle heated one. All right. I will be back with the lines waxed. Sometimes I think this Kiska is camera shy. I turned off the camera and the wax just started to flow then. So we're going to pretend we're not going to let the Kiska know that the camera is running. All right, I'm finishing up the lines that go, the horizontal lines, so the lines that go around the egg, equator-like. All right. So now what we're going to do is, I want to try something on this top. I have a picture of what it's going to look like in my mind. So we're going to see, and you'll see why I didn't wax that whole line. So first, I'm going to wax the square inside of it. And then I'm going to wax all of these points. All right. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to draw this line, but I'm only going to draw it over these 3 squares. 1, 2, 3. All right. So on the one I did last week, and I know you're seeing the not yet completed version, there was 1 square, and on this one, there's going to be 3 squares on each. So a little different look. We'll see how that turns out. So now I will be going around and I will be waxing all of these elements in here. And I want to pay really close attention so that I don't miss anything. Oh, see, I almost thought that one was done and I missed that one. Alrighty, so now let's do this one. And you can see it was about there when the Kiska started to really work. It's a little thicker than what I would have liked, but it's okay. Okay, so now again here, I'm just going to draw the line like that. So this area here will appear to be open. So I'm going to go around the egg and draw in the rest of these with the Kiska. And then I'm going to come back and talk and think about if I want to add any more elements to these while it's white. I'm thinking about something, I'm not sure, so as I wax it, then I will have that time to make up my mind. We'll see what I decide. Okay, so I have all of the lines waxed, and if you can kind of see it, that, and then this will be the final color, which right now I'm thinking will be black. What I'm going to do now is I really liked, you can see it kind of on this one, this division lends itself to this octagonish shape. So I do want to put that on this egg. So how that is, around each one of these 8-pointed stars, I'm going to do a line that goes, there'll be 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it gets a little confusing now. There's a lot of lines on here, but once we start adding color, it will make more sense. So let's do this again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And honestly, if you do the top and the bottom ones, the middle one it gets done because these are sharing a line. So let's do this one down here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we'll do this one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so in this overall design, because we want the design to show up, but we also want the colors to show up. So we need the colors to go along with the design. Right now, we just need to draw the design, and then we'll get to the color part. So I'm going to do that. And then in this bigger square, and I apologize, I have been using the Lubas Electric with the fine tip for all of these lines. I am now going to switch, and I'm going to use my Lubas Electric with a super fine tip, because I want to put in these areas where there's nothing. So every square is going to have something. Might be a little overdone, but we're going to do it anyway. So, but this isn't going to be much. I'm just going to draw a line that goes like this, and one that goes like this. And then I'm going to put a little circle on the end of each one of them. And then it looks a little snowflake-like. And I'm okay with that because this one is going to have red and green on it. So if this one may eventually end up being a Christmas ornament. So I'm going to put that in all of the areas that are empty, except not this one up here. So this would go right here. It would go right here. I do this again. And I'm hoping I can get the same amount on all of them. And you could really put anything here. You could put a little swirl in there. You could put a big leaf. Oh, a leaf would look cool if I did like an autumn theme. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. And I need to draw the rest of these diagonal lines. And then I will be dyeing it in my first color, which is going to be gold. So I'm going to start with some of the same colors here. But first I'm going to put it in yellow because the yellow has the vinegar, and then I will put it in the gold. That will give me a more even color. And those are both Ukrainian gift shop colors. All right, come back. We will have a gold egg. Here is the egg now, and I dyed it in 3 minutes in the Ukrainian gift shop yellow, and then 3 minutes in the gold. So it's a deep color gold because I am going to fill in the center of these that are outlined by white, but because it's gold, you'll get, I'll get some definition. There'll be a little bit more contrast between the white lines and the gold than there would between the white lines and the yellow. And I've also been thinking a lot about what other color placements I want to put on this egg. I went back and forth with different ideas. And when people say I never know what colors to pick, I totally understand, because I was just kind of in this total mode of indecision, and then finally had to say to myself, just pick the colors, go with it. It'll be fine. I don't want to make light of it, but it's an egg. This isn't brain surgery. No one's going to die if I pick the wrong color. So sometimes you just have to say, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go for it. And that's what I'm going to do. I am just going to go for it. I'm going to use my Lubbo's Electric with the fine tip, because it's the one I happen to pick up. And I am going to completely cover in the areas here on the bands that are on the top and the bottom, where the 8-pointed stars are. So there are 4 of them up here. Probably should be using the heavy, or not the heavy, my medium. In fact, I think I'll get that one out. Okay, I'm switching to my medium Kiska. Some wax in it. And I'm going to fill in these. And this. This. And this. Okay, so I did the 4. And now I am, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to fill in the centers. I'm going to fill in these centers too. Yep, just doing it. Just doing it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so what I am planning to do, so all of these 8-pointed stars, because in this one I want to highlight the design, I want to highlight the 8-pointed stars. They're all going to have the same color in the centers, but the ones at the top and the bottom are going to be green, and the ones in the center are going to be red. Now, again, I went back and forth what to do in this area that is right here. So it makes an octagon. I think I called it a hexagon. It's an octagon. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there, it kind of makes an octagon. Don't really see it. It depends on how you do your colors. So like here, you can kind of see the octagon more. It doesn't show up as much here. And a lot of it's just the way I did the pattern. And it's kind of whatever you want to highlight in the pattern. So what I was going to fill these in with solid colors. I've changed my mind, and instead I'm going to put a design in there, something that will kind of go along with this thing we put here in the center, somewhat. So I'm going to use my fine, and I'm going to put, yes, okay, so it's going to come out like this. I'm going to make chicken feet is actually what it is. It's just 3 little lines with a little dot on the end of it. I mean, I thought, do I want to do purple in here? And it was just, I was struggling with where would I place all the colors so that they would look right next to each other, and I would get contrast. But on the other hand, I really didn't want to use a whole bunch of colors. So I wanted to stick with the gold, red, and green and the black background. And I just, I walked away from it for a while because I was feeling overwhelmed, and I don't like my Pysanky to make me feel overwhelmed. So that's when I say, okay, it's time to take a break, which I did. And now I'm back and I'm working on the egg, and I am loving my choice here. It's just going to take me a while to get all of these on here because there are going to be a lot of them. Oh, I think that's going to look nice. I like that. It will be nice. All right, so let's do this. So I'm going to keep going around and doing this. And then because the egg has been dyed in Ukrainian gift shop gold, that's the color it is now, I can use the Ukrainian gift shop turquoise, and I will get a very nice shade of green. In fact, that was how I got that shade of green. And if that is not the shade of green I want, then I can put it in something like the Ukrainian gift shop light green, or another shade of green. It's just that's the color I happen to have here in my studio. I don't know I know some of the names of the other colors. I just don't know the shades they are on Ukrainian Accessories and Pysanky USA. So if you want to use those dyes, I would encourage you to go look at their websites and their color charts and see how they compare with other ones. They both have different shades of green that you can use. But I do know that the Ukrainian gift shop colors, the turquoise over gold will make a very pretty green color. The same will happen with blue. If you use the light blue over the gold, you can use either one. I prefer the turquoise. All right, so I'm just going to keep doing this, and then I will dye the egg in the turquoise. Isn't that a pretty shade of green? Oh my goodness, I love it. This was in the turquoise, the Ukrainian gift shop turquoise, for 1 minute, and this was the color I got. I love it. All right, I'm going to use my fine because I want to get right up into the point, and I'm afraid with my medium, I might get a little over it. We'll see. I may change my mind. So the stars, the 8-pointed stars on the top and on the bottom are going to be green. So I need to completely fill in. Oh, are you getting camera shy again? Okay, no, maybe you just weren't warmed up all the way. So I'm going to fill in all 8 points. I'm not filling in the center part there, just that, just the triangle area around it, these 8. I'm going to have to look at this under the magnifier. I can see that right now. having a little bit of trouble seeing the wax on top of the green. And now I don't know if I want to try the blue dye. I don't know if that will make it, or not blue dye, blue wax. I don't know if that will make a difference. But, oh, you can see it on the camera. So I have filled in all of those. So on this one, I kind of did it alternating, so it's kind of a swirl pattern around it. This one, I'm going to do bands. So green stars, red stars, green stars. So that means I have a lot more of these little star points to fill in, just like that. And then, because it's going to go into the red, if I were just to put it in the red on top of the green, I would get something that's not red or green. I would probably get something brownish color, because red and green are complementary colors. They are across each other if you have a color wheel, which I do not have mine handy here. So you're just going to have to trust me on that. But they are across from each other. So when two colors are across from each other, so red and green, blue and orange, yellow and purple, those are the complementary color combinations. If you mix those two, generally you get a shade of brown. And if I wanted a shade of brown, I could do that. But I don't want a shade of brown in here. I want red. So that means that I will wash this egg off, and then I will dye it in the red. And it doesn't have to be all the way back to the white. It just needs to be light enough that it won't impact the red color. Okay, I'm just going to keep working on this, wash it, and dye it red. And I will be back. Isn't this a beautiful shade of red? So that is the Ukrainian gift shop red that I used. And now I am going to wax the 8-pointed star that's in the center band. So I'm going to go around all of these. This 8-pointed star is going to be the only thing that will be red on the Pysanky, but because your eye is drawn to red, this little bit of red will really stand out quite a bit, because it's in the center also, and it has the gold in the center that also will help draw your eye to that red star, but it will be balanced by the complementary green color that is in the top, or the top and bottom row of stars. Just going to go all the way around this, and then the next color, my final color, will be black. But before I put it in the black, I am going to put it in the asparagus, which is a dark green color by Pysanky USA, and that will help make it a deeper black. Sometimes when your egg is red and you put it in the black, it doesn't cover as well. Now if it's a brand new black, it will. You might just take a couple extra dips in the black, put it in for 3 minutes, let it dry, put it back in. But if you have a green, like a dark green color, that is very helpful at getting a deeper black color on your egg. So after I get all of these stars waxed in, then I will dye it in the asparagus and then dye it in the black. And here we have our egg, all dyed black. It's a beautiful, rich, deep black. And I am now ready to take the wax off of it. So maybe we'll do the heat gun for this one. So I shall unplug it, and then I will hook up the heat gun. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, I love it. I love it. You can see the colors and the pattern, and it's really hot. Okay, so there it is, and here was the one that I did at first. I like them both. I do. But I do like the fact that in this one, you are better able to see the pattern and the colors. Where this one, you see all the colors. And this one has more colors than that one. But I really like the way that one turned out. All right. Well, cool. Well, this was fun redoing these patterns. And next week, we're going to work on something new. I'm not sure yet, but it'll be something new.